Well, we're on the move again as we leave our camp at Oak Valley, headed towards Theresa Creek Dam. However, we decide to take a little bit of an alternate route via Lake Dalrymple and Mount Coolin. We also check out the sites around Clermont. Just another awesome chapter right here on Travel Oz Off Grid.
Well, good morning everyone. Today we're heading out of Townsville to our next destination, which is
The Theresa Creek Dam at this stage, so yeah, we'll see what it's like. Reports on Wikicamps a little bit hit and miss. If you like loud V8 speedboats and all that sort of stuff, good place to go. And given it's a Friday, yeah, not sure how quiet it's going to be, but yeah, we'll see.
We'll see how we go.
Yep. So we're umming and ahhing whether to go via Charters Towers, which is sort of the main road, or we can sort of take a bit of a back road round via Lake Dalrymple and have a look down there. It's going to take us a little bit longer, so it's a few more Ks. They're probably going to make it about a 550k journey instead of, or maybe a bit more, instead of about a 510. Yeah, what's a couple of Ks between friends? So yeah, we'll see when we get there.
Look, it's all the cows being herded up the road. No. Hi.
Come on, little fella. Move over.
That's it.
There you go.
Hi. Where you going?
He's a big fella.
Yes.
Got a fair set of agates on that bar. Wow, they're massive. Yeah, I didn't realise they'd 2 agates your size.
So these are the crosses. So it's mainly for flood water, clearly. Hopefully I got that cross. So we stopped an open one.
Located 80 kilometres south of Ravenswood lies Lake Dalrymple or Burdekin Falls Dam, with a surface area covering a whopping 22,400 hectares. When it's full, it holds 1,860,000 megalitres. This makes it one of Queensland's largest lakes. It's Lake Dalrymple. We're going to go basically down to where the dam wall is, and yeah, we'll have a look down there, but to then cross the lake, because we've got to get across to the other side of the lake to continue on. But you go down and you basically cross below the wall across the overflow area. So
Cool. A lot of water in the middle of nowhere. Doesn't say that it... Oh look, the Honourable M.J. Ahern, Premier and Treasurer of Queensland. Spelt the same way too. Oh, ah. Oh, cool.
reasonably wide. Really, look at that.
A lot wider than.
Yeah, then you look like from up where we were standing, it was actually looked really narrow. I thought it was like only the width of one car, but it's actually really wide. In the amount of water that'd be flowing over this. And if you're thinking of travelling this way during wet season, make sure you do your homework before coming. And certainly, don't expect that you'll be able to cross the spillway. Once that water overflows, she's closed.
So after crossing the dam, Paul, we've been on the dirt for the last probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, heading to Mount Coolin.
I think it is. So
We'll have
a bit of a longer drive than, well, slower drive than I thought it was going to be. Only just because the road has a lot of washouts, floodways and stuff, so you've got to slow right down with the van. That's just taken a lot longer. Well, so yeah, it's just one of those drives. Not a lot to look at, a lot of cows.
rough surface.
That's because the road just
Yeah,
disappeared.
and there's a hole.
Oh.
He's just staring you down.
Yep.
Bitch. So we're having a biffo.
Yeah, a bit of biffo going on.
At least they know to move away from the road. Oh, Jesus. Corrugations are bad.
They are.
Oh, Willy.
Really.
Willy.
Well, we made it to Mount Coolin, so it was a epic drive. But yeah, we're at, so they've got a little pub here and a little tourist area, which is a location of like basically the heritage of Mount Coolin. So there was a police station right on the edge of Police Creek, Barclay's Battery, which is probably just over the back here, I'll show you in a second. State School, so you can see the battery just there, the remains of it. Old Barclay Battery. You can see the remains of the old building and the old smelter. We'll go in and see if we can. Yeah, I got my best snake shoes on, my anti-snake shoes. Shame that someone felt the need that they had to have a shit there. Beautiful big wheel. Hate to think how much that weighs. Looks like that would be like a tumbler or something, I guess. Looks like it's got holes all around the side of it. Got holes in it all there, so maybe as that rotates around, that definitely looks like that would spin around on that, and then maybe it dumps out the dirt or the gold or whatever it might be. Incredible. Look out. It's the Hudson Brothers Limited, engineers, Clyde, New South Wales, 1997. Maybe they were like the pistons there, that maybe drove backwards and forwards under steam to crush the rocks and find the gold. It's a resident kitty. Hello, kitty. Pub cat. Chicken wraps for lunch today.
So different to every other day.
Yeah, I know. But there's nothing wrong with chicken wraps. Okay, we are on the Kennedy Development Road. Now, basically at the moment we're headed south towards Clermont, and what makes it worse is we're following a truck full of ammonium nitrate, which is the same stuff that was part of that explosion, Australia's worst transport explosion. Yeah, so a truck carrying 53 tonnes of ammonium nitrate caught fire and crashed, then exploded. And it's a road train, so he's got 3 trailers on. We're not passing him because this road is absolutely hideous. It's not flat, there's like dips and all sorts of stuff. Throwing the van around everywhere. Oh, Fangio, he is just
very bouncy,
hanging on. So yeah, so we're sitting back here because it's just way too dangerous to get out there and overtake. Theresa Creek Dam, glass-free area. There you go.
Oh well, I broke my wine glass anyway.
Yeah, so you haven't got any glass, so it doesn't make any difference. No free camping. All visitors report to the kiosk and pay the fees before finding a site. Well, I've already booked online, so we'll see what the go is there. We'll check at the kiosk and find out what's going on.
There.
So I'll have to say, Theresa Creek Dam campground is A1, sensational. So reasonably cheap, it's only costing us for 2 nights for 2 adults $40. And yeah, basically we're unpowered. They weren't busy, so they basically just said, yeah, look, go wherever you like. There's an area which is over near the kiosk and cafeteria area. And yeah, basically you can go down there along the water or wherever you like. Or there's an area up behind the cafeteria which is really flat. It's out of the way, it's a fair way from the water itself, but you know, if you wanted flat ground and you know, away from area, and I suppose if you know the place was busy, you'd be going up there. But we're in an area which is further around. You basically head back out and turn left and come back down around. And this spot here, we're along the water, but at the same time, every one of the spots here has actually got a little shelter. It's got like a little carport. So I guess you can pull up and you can open your van. You don't have to worry about putting your awning out. but you've got a full open carport area, and which you can set up your plants, set up your chairs, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, really nice. Winds come up a bit now. The only downside of this place that I found is, unlike caravan parks and everywhere else, checkout time is 9 AM. So yeah, 9 AM is pretty tough for somewhere that realistically, you know, what do they need to do? You know, you're checking out, you head off, and worst case scenario is they've got to clean the toilets, but you know, check-in time is after 2. Yeah, I don't know, that is a downside. So beautiful spot on the water here. Tam's already found that it's 1 o'clock, even though she's busy feeding the birds at the moment. So she's got the parrots and the apostle birds and whatever else, she's got them all back, even though they flew away before. Plenty of water birds and stuff, so if you're into, you know, bird watching and all that sort of thing, then yeah, look, that'd be the spot to be, and on the water. But there is also ski boats, jet skis, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's not really a bird watching mecca. To a certain extent, you wouldn't come here for a nice quiet bird watching time. Anyhow, we're gonna sit back and have a few drinks and enjoy the afternoon. Tam's made some friends. Really like bread. Are you just gonna have some bread yourself? Oh, look at it, you're gonna get inundated now. You are so in trouble. And just below, the apostle birds are moving in. They're picking up the scraps. Having a wander through Clermont. I don't know whether it's Claremont or Clermont. But yeah, so the town here is predominantly, well, it's gold mining. So 1862 the town was formed when they found gold in the area, so they started mining the gold. And yeah, basically a year later, some dude, Jack Molan, I think his name was, actually stumbled across a wall of copper as well, so they started mining the copper. So yeah, gold and copper, and then yeah, recently they've also found coal. So you've got the full plethora as far as mining goes, and a lot of the old mining stuff's still around. There's a huge gold mine just out of town, and the copper mining area was basically about 5 k's out of town here towards Rubyvale, which is where the wall of copper was found. So yeah, it's quite a busy little town, and got plenty of amenities. Got IGA, bottle shop, pubs, all that sort of stuff that you want. I'm walking across from the Boozo with 2 bottles of Pepper Jack, all dusty. Clearly they don't drink wine around here. Well, it looks like Pepper Jack anyway. Or is it? She might have got something different. What has she got? That's the big question. What'd you get?
Didn't know you could get Pepper Jack in mid-strength.
Oh, mid-strength Pepper Jack. You drink more.
Oh well. Don't know what the difference is. Didn't know you could get it mid-strength.
Just means you can drink more without getting hammered.
We just pulled up at a park and noticed that the trees are covered in bats. Like, literally. Thick with bats.
like fruit on a tree. Flying fox behaviour. Foxes are very social animals and as such make a lot of vocalisations. They're unique pollinators. Park vehicles under shelter, keep pets inside. Bring washing in at night. They're all tips how to live with flying fox roosts. Well, you can certainly say there's plenty of them. Then you're in and out getting the sun. Just a few. We're wandering down to the Billy Singh Memorial.
He was the first Australian
soldier to be killed in war. 1872. Well, he was born then. On September 1899, he volunteered to go to the Boer War and was killed in action at Sunnyside, South Africa on the 1st of January 1900, aged 27. First Queensland nurse to go to war, Nurse Beatrice Houston, was born in Clermont, the daughter of Robert and Bessie Houston. You can only imagine that they tape up and cover up a lot of this stuff because the bats are sitting right above them. I don't know whether it's something that's about to be unveiled, although it doesn't look new. I'm tipping they just do it to keep the bats away. 100 years of the Anzac, Iraq to Afghanistan. Vietnam, 1962 to 1975. Poppies in the garden. Korean War, 1950, 1953. Lest we forget. A nice memorial. At the back of the park here, World War II. World War I. And then the Boer War.
Very nice little memorial. Shame that all the other stuff is covered up.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it's only just to keep the bats off. So they're obviously, actual plaques of those that have lost their lives. The Billy Singh Memorial. Who was Billy Singh? William Billy Edward Singh. He was a crack sniper of the Anzacs. Billy Singh served on Gallipoli as a sniper of considerable distinction and renown. Whilst officially credited with accounting for 150 Turkish troops, his actual tally was probably in excess of 200. He also saw service in France and Belgium. For his momentous work, he was awarded the Distinguished Conduct Medal and the Belgian Croix de Guerre. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I'm not sure how that's pronounced.
Can't really read it.
No.
The Great Clermont Floods of 1916 to 1917.
It's a depiction of two guys in a boat. Trees, people in trees.
Horses floating.
Little. A bin chicken. And a turtle.
Oh, the turtle's sunning itself.
Well, that or he's staring down the pelican. Bin chicken's off. Oh, he jumped. Turtle jumped. Climbing back up the log. I don't know whether you can see that, I can't get any closer. Mr. Percival just made himself a little lighter. There's another turtle just down there. Oh, he just did a dive again. Saw me move and took a dive. We were just going to go and have a coffee and something to eat at Lotta Latte's Cafe, but despite it saying on their sign that they close at 12 PM and it's now 11:20, they're no longer serving. So I guess we'll go and find somewhere else in town. Well, country towns, I guess you have to be up early, get into town, get shit done before 12 o'clock. Unless you want a latte, you get lots of lattes, and then make sure you're in before 11:30.
Or 11 o'clock.
Or 11 o'clock, yeah. We'll might go and have a look at the Copperfield Chimney.
Part of the gold rush when they first came out here.
I think it was
Or
copper.
copper, actually.
I think it was copper.
Well, it
Because they smelted the copper in it, I think.
maybe it is.
We're going to have a look at the water treatment plant. There is also a very large, jump the gun on me. See that? She's trying to turn me off. There's also a very large solar power station here, so acres and acres of solar panels. So if I can find that, I might put the drone up and do a bit of a look. Yeah, we'll go and have a look at the Copperfield Chimney.
Right now, I can turn you off.
Cut.
Cut.
We've got the old Copperfield store, which is on the road out to Theresa Creek Dam. A little bit of history there about Copperfield itself. You can see there the actual, the mine site and the chimneys. One of those chimneys still actually exists, and we're going to have a look at that in a tick. So you can nearly see it through the trees there. See it out through there. We're going to have a look at that in a tick. This is the old store, Copperfield store. Originally opened by Duncan family, stands testament to the once thriving frontier town of Copperfield. Can't see, there's rocks and stuff.
The meat slicer.
A meat slicer. Gets it.
Oh, maybe stone grinder.
Beautiful old furniture. Old cabbage display there. Food display. Be a bit off. You know, to get a better look in here. Oh, look, these old Cotties bottles, golden syrup. Wow. Literally looks like they closed it up and just left it. The super soft water softener and conditioner. Robin starch. Even Brasso in the old original Brasso bottle. Still standing there. Pretty much looking like it was when they walked out. Copperfield Chimney.
We're walking up to one of the Copperfield chimney stacks. It's still standing today. There were 22 at the prime of its life, but there's only a few left along the way. I had to put a fence around the edge because it's starting to become quite frail. A few things have started to fall, some bricks. So for safety, they have put fencing all the way around. So this is as close as we can get. But Matt's going to put the drone up and have a closer look.
You know, it's not until you actually get to see this landscape from above that you really notice just how spectacular the colours are. Alright, so we're at the piano in a tree. Now, I'm not sure what the history is on this one, but I think it's got something to do with the flood. Hang on a second, I'm going to have a bit of a read. So in 1916, the flood which destroyed the original township of Clermont left in its immediate aftermath many visible reminders of the destruction force and the wall of water which descended upon the town on the 28th of December 1916. The photograph above was taken shortly after the flood somewhere along the bank, Sandy Creek. The replica piano in this tree replicates the piano shown in the photograph. Well, there's your piano. I don't know whether you can see that, but there is the, try and get it better, piano in the tree. There you go, the Clermont flood of 1916, piano in a tree. I'm tipping they had a lot of floods through here, given that they sit fairly low and kind of got a lot of waterways that come through, so. Blair Atoll mining for coal. Some of the destruction after floods. Train. Clermont. Obviously, yeah, it's something to do with around here. Otherwise, you wouldn't put a photo of him on there, would you? Let me have a look. Clermont. I can't see anything on there about Clermont. Or am I blind? French Connection. Hang on. I don't know whether it was French. And I'm not seeing anything. Don't know how Clermont gets his photo on there, but clearly he paid someone big dollars to get his pic on this board. If I find out anything else, I will put it in the video. But I still can't find anything to do with Clermont. Anyhow, there you go. That is the piano in the tree. Well, I was just talking about the floods in Clermont, and we've got the 1916 flood memorial, which is here. Now, I looked at this and thought, well, yeah, it's a rock, really. What's a flood memorial? Then I looked at the tree beside it. Well, it's a makeshift tree anyway. Sorry, I got a good look at the ground there. So this is the flood memorial to all those people that lost their lives in the flood of 1916. Now, if you want to see how flooded it was, there's the mark. So that is the flood level, which is about, I don't know, 2.5 times the height of me. And I'm about 6'2". So in memory of all the lives lost and known victims of the flood, there's a few there where the bodies were never recovered. Whole families, everything.
We've come out to the solar farm in Clermont. I say 497 acres of solar panels. took them 18 months to from the design stage to compliance. So started in January 2018 and commenced power into July 2019. And it services 31,000 homes.
And that's where we end this episode. We hope you've enjoyed our journey so far. Again, if you haven't already, create your free YouTube account and click that subscribe button. Not only will you get a notification when we put up new videos, but it also really helps us out and inspires us to keep going. Alright, and be sure to check out some of our previous episodes. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.